Hey guys, I'm just going to give you a demonstration of how to get proper head measurements. I'm going to go with the circumference, start with the circumference, ear to ear from the back, ear to ear from the top of the head, and from your hairline to your nape. So those are the 4 measurements that I'm going to do today, just to get your proper head measurements, okay? So we're going to start off with the circumference. The circumference is I start from the middle of my forehead, right a little bit below my hairline, just a little bit below. I work my way down to my nape, make sure that it's on your nape. Work my way back around. All right, back on it. My circumference is 22. 22, that's the circumference that I have. I have a pretty small head. And starting now, we're going from the front of my hairline to the back of my nape. All right, to the back of my nape. All right, it's about 14 and about 14 and a quarter of an inch. Not even a quarter of an inch. All right. So in this case, when it's 14 and a quarter of an inch, you can round it off to 15, but I would round it off to 14 because I have a small head. And that is what the dome cap stretches for. So that's just me. But if you know your head is a little bit bigger and it goes, if it's 14 and 3/4 of an inch, then round it off to 15. But if it's 14 and just a little bit over, I would keep it at 14. Just give it in whatever inch that your hairline from the back of your nape is. And that just goes for anything. If it's 14, and if it's a quarter, not even a quarter, just round it off to the closest numeral. All right. So now we're moving from ear to the back. So for me, I would start it right here because this is where my band is going to sit at. It's going to sit right up in this area. So I need to know what it is. All right, so I'm going right on the top of my ear and my nape, working my way to my nape, and then working my way to the other side of my head, to the top of my ear, right? It's 11 and a half. 11 and a half. So in this case, I would just round it off to 12. But I'm going to tell you this. This is what stretchable bands are for. So if I decide to keep my ear to ear length at 11, it's fine. Because the band is going to stretch to fit my head. So this is why I don't really worry about what the band is, what your ear to ear length is, because this is what the band stretches for, and that is what the dome cap stretches for. It's meant to stretch and go beyond what your average head shape is. As long as it's not too out of the norm. If your ear to ear length is 10, let's give an example, which is 10. Let's give it 10. And I cut the band to 4 inches. Look how short this is. Nobody's average ear to ear length is 4 inches. So that's just out of the norm. Most average ear to ear length is between about maybe 9 and 12 at the biggest, so I try to keep the band between average ear to ear length because it's going to stretch that far. So that is why I don't really put emphasis on ear to ear length. All right. And the last one The last one is ear to ear from the top of the head to the ears, okay? Now for me, I stop where my sideburns are because you want your frontal to cover your sideburns and probably dip a little bit lower so the glue is not on your sideburns. So in this case, that's why I don't recommend cutting the lace before you give it to your client or before I put it on my head, because I like to just have that security that I'm going to cut enough lace. That's just why I don't recommend it. That's why when you get wigs and you get closure wigs, you get frontal wigs, the lace is really never cut off. The hairline may be customized. They may have plucked the hairline. They may have, plucked the closure so it looks natural, but it's up to you to cut how much lace that you want to cut off, because some people like to leave extra lace so they can make baby hairs. Some people don't like to have extra lace because they don't want a lot of baby hairs. Me, I don't really like the whole baby hair thing. I will swirl a little bit of edges right here where my temples are, and I'll swirl some where my sideburns are, if that. But I do not like the baby hair thing. But some people like extra lace so they can have extra baby hairs. So I'm going to do another demonstration from my ear to my ear at the top. So starting where my sideburns are, here's my sideburns. This is where they're stopping at. Moving over, this is the top of my head to where my sideburn ends. See where my sideburn ends. Boom. All right. So this is flipped over. They're inches too, but I'm just gonna flip it over to the bigger one so you can see. All right. So it was actually exactly at 15 inches. All right, now once again, in this case, I don't cut the lace until it's on my head. But this is how you know what your head measurements are. So when you go to my website, the circumference sizes ranges from 20 to 25 inches. That is average circumferences for head sizes, 20 to 25. If the circumference of your head is bigger than 25, hey, then send me a message in my email. And my email is located at the bottom of the Contact Us section. And just tell me that the circumference of your head is 26. I do wigs that are 26 inches. I just put 20 to 25 because that is the average circumference size. If your circumference is smaller than a 20, which there is possible, there are people who are younger or people who may have really extremely small heads. If your circumference size is smaller, it is okay. Go to the bottom of my Contact Us section and put in a request that says my circumference is 19 inches. And then therefore I will accommodate that and create a wig that fits you. All right. So that concludes my video to knowing correct head measurements.